Tonight, the 2025 Scoops Medal winner will be crowned. Tonight is the most important night of nights, where the most prestigious award in footy is crowned, the Scoops Medal. The award people come to see, the award that others want to try and compete with. But in the end, the Scoops Medal is where it's at. Who will etch their name in history in becoming a Scoops Medal winner for the first time? Or possibly even the first ever two-time Scoops AFL Medal winner? Will one of previous winners, Jack McRae, Jack Sinclair, Touk Miller, or Tom Green become a two-time Scoops Medal winner? Will a club be the first to have two Scoops Medal winners? Or will we have a new winner, like a star midfielder in Zach Butters, Noah Anderson, Dacos, or even a Will Ashcroft? Will the ruck have a say in this year's count, like a Brodie Grundy, Max Gawn, or even a Rowan Marshall? Will a forward who kicks goals like Ben King, Jack Gunson, or Jeremy Cameron do the unthinkable and win a midfielder's award? Will we finally have a winner that isn't a midfielder? A vote count you don't want to miss. Expect the unexpected. Watch it all. You won't regret it. Relax and watch the most prestigious award in footy, the most talked about award, the Scoops Medal. Now here is your host, the sole admin of Scoops. It is Scoops. Hello everyone and welcome to the 2025 Scoops AFL Medal. I'm your host Scoops, the sole admin of Scoops. And I pump up this award for every competition I cover the Scoops Medal in and say it's the best video of the year. And oh, absolutely, the Scoops Medal is where it's at. Like I said in that intro, the most prestigious award in footy will be crowned tonight. Who will it be? There's so many names it could be, but you're going to find out right here tonight. Comment your predictions down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Share this video around. We want to aim for over 20 likes. Everyone watching this live here on YouTube, we want you all to be watching it live as we speak. So get your popcorn ready, get your coffee, get your drinks ready, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. This show is going to be something special, just like it is in each and every installment of the Scoops Medal, whether it's AFLW, now VFLW, or in this case, tonight, the Scoops AFL Medal. Previous winners were Touk Miller, Jack McRae, Jack Sinclair, and Tom Green, who will etch their name in history and become a Scoops Medal winner for the first time or potentially a second time. No AFL players ever become a two-time winner. In the whole history of Scoops Medals, there's only one current player in all competitions that I've done Scoops Medals for that is currently a two-time Scoops Medal winner. And that is Jasmine Garner from the North Melbourne AFLW side. Will someone join Jazz in becoming a two-time Scoops Medal winner? We'll find out right here, right now. And expect the unexpected. It's in that intro for a reason. Expect the unexpected. Now, tonight, we'll also be crowning my Rising Star winner for season 2025. My mark and goal of the year as well. Now, where do I begin? Let's just get right into the thick of things. All right, Scoops, let's go. Everyone, get ready, get up and about. Comment your predictions down below. Let's go. Oh, I love this time of year to cover the Scoops Medal. It's always something I look forward to each and every year of every competition I cover. And I've said that a few times because it's true. I love the Scoops Medal, and I know all of you are. It's the most debated award in social media for the footy. The most covered award in footy is the Scoops Medal. And this is where a fair winner will be decided. All right, Scoops, let's go. Opening round. We're getting flashbacks of opening round. Opening round has to go. It's shit. There was only 2 games in opening round, but let's go. Opening round. Sydney v Hawthorn. Hawthorn, K. Amon, 1 vote. Hawthorn, Will Day, 2 votes. Hawthorn, Al Meek, 3 votes. GWS v Collingwood. GWS, Jay Kelly, 1 vote. GWS, S. Taylor, 2 votes. GWS, F. Callahan, 3 votes. The leaderboard after opening round. Well, I mean, it's going to be self-explanatory what it is. Lloyd Meek and Finn Callahan are leading the Scoops medal after opening round when there was only 2 games. So there you are. Now let's just get right into round 1 of the Scoops medal. Round 1, Richmond v Carlton. Richmond, B. Miller, 1 vote. Carlton, for now, P. De Koning, 2 votes. Richmond, J. Ross, 3 votes. Hawthorn v Essendon. Hawthorn, K. Amon, 1 vote. Hawthorn, D. Moore, 2 votes. Essendon, J. Caldwell, 3 votes. Geelong v Fremantle. Fremantle, N. O'Driscoll, 1 vote. Fremantle, J. O'Meara, 2 votes. Geelong, B. Smith, 3 votes. Sydney v Brisbane. Sydney, J. Jordan, 1 vote. Brisbane, D. Zorko, 2 votes. Brisbane, J. Dunkley, 3 votes. Collingwood v Port Adelaide. Collingwood, D. Houston, 1 vote. Collingwood, D. McStay, 2 votes. Collingwood, T. Membry, 3 votes. Western Bulldogs v North Melbourne. North Melbourne, J. Simpkin, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, B. Dale, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, E. Richards, 3 votes. Adelaide v St Kilda. Adelaide, R. Thilthorpe, 1 vote. Adelaide, J. Rochelle, 2 votes. St Kilda, J. McRae, 3 votes. Melbourne v GWS. GWS, F. Callahan, 1 vote. GWS, Tom Green, 2 votes. GWS, Toby Green, 3 votes. West Coast v Gold Coast. Gold Coast, N. Anderson, 1 vote. Gold Coast, J. Witts, 2 votes. Gold Coast, B. King, 3 votes. The leaderboard after round 1 in equal second place, all on 3 votes. Get your coffee ready. Josh Dunkley, Jack McRae, Tim Membry, Jai Caldwell, Bailey Smith, Toby Green, Ben King, Lloyd Meek, Jack Ross, and Ed Richards. And the outright leader after round 1 of the Scoops medal on 4 votes from the Giants, Finn Callahan. So we're 1 round and 2 games in effectively. Who is a bit of a surprise so far? Who did you think was going to appear on the leaderboard? Yeah, look, it's a good start. I mean, you look at some names on there, and some of those names I'm sure are in contention to win the Scoops medal. There's probably some names that you think are a contender that haven't polled at all yet or are not in that top bracket so far. It's going to be an interesting vote count, but let's get right into the thick of things with round 2. Round 2, Carlton v Hawthorn. Carlton, T. De Koning, 1 vote. Hawthorn, J. Battle, 2 votes. Hawthorn, J. Newcomb, 3 votes. Western Bulldogs v Collingwood. Western Bulldogs, Sam Darcy, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, T. Liberatore, 2 votes. Collingwood, N. Dacos, 3 votes. Essendon v Adelaide. Adelaide, J. Rochelle, 1 vote. Essendon, Z. Merritt, 2 votes. Adelaide, B. Keys, 3 votes. Port Adelaide v Richmond. Port Adelaide, J. Burgoyne, 1 vote. Port Adelaide, M. Georgiades, 2 votes. Port Adelaide, C. Rosie, 3 votes. St Kilda v Geelong. St Kilda, M. Winhager, 1 vote. St Kilda, R. Marshall, 2 votes. St Kilda, J. McRae, 3 votes. Brisbane v West Coast. West Coast, T. Dua, 1 vote. West Coast, T. Kelly, 2 votes. Brisbane, Al Neil, 3 votes. North Melbourne v Melbourne. Melbourne, C. Oliver, 1 vote. Melbourne, K. Chandler, 2 votes. North Melbourne, P. Curtis, 3 votes. Fremantle v Sydney. Fremantle, J. O'Meara, 1 vote. Fremantle, N. O'Driscoll, 2 votes. Sydney, C. Warner, 3 votes. That's Chad Warner. So the leaderboard after round 2, in second place on 4 votes is Finn Callaghan. But now the outright leader after round 2 on 6 votes, the star recruit for the Saints, it is Jack McRae. Wow. That's the leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen, after round 2, as of right now, of the Scoops Medal. What are your thoughts so far? Are there some players that you thought might have got some votes that didn't get any votes? Yeah, look, it's an interesting count so far. I mean, there's going to be plenty of names that haven't featured yet that will feature throughout the night. It just is what it is. Early days, Jack McRae was a star and was probably an outright leader in the first few rounds. But yeah, let's get into round 3 of the Scoops Medal, shall we? All right. Round 3, Essendon v Port Adelaide. Essendon, X. Dersma, 1 vote. Port Adelaide, C. Moraes, 2 votes. Essendon, Z. Merritt, 3 votes. Carlton v Western Bulldogs. Carlton, B. Kemp, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, S. Davison, 2 votes. Carlton, T. De Koning, 3 votes. Melbourne v Gold Coast. Gold Coast, B. King, 1 vote. Gold Coast, N. Anderson, 2 votes. Gold Coast, M. Rao, 3 votes. St Kilda v Richmond. St Kilda, M. Hall, 1 vote. St Kilda, J. McRae, 2 votes. St Kilda, J. Sinclair, 3 votes. Brisbane v Geelong. Brisbane, D. Zorko, 1 vote. Brisbane, W. Ashcroft, 2 votes. Brisbane, H. McCluggage, 3 votes. Hawthorn v GWS. Hawthorn, C. McKenzie, 1 vote. GWS, H. Himmelberg, 2 votes. GWS, L. Whitfield, 3 votes. Adelaide v North Melbourne. Adelaide, R. Laird, 1 vote. North Melbourne, C. Daniel, 2 votes. North Melbourne, J. Simkin, 3 votes. West Coast v Fremantle. Fremantle, N. O'Driscoll, 1 vote. Fremantle, A. Brayshaw, 2 votes. Fremantle, C. Sarong, 3 votes. The leaderboard after round 3, now outright second on 6 votes, is Tom De Koning, and in first place on 8 votes is Jack McRae. Gee, future teammates there in first and second place after round 3. Gee, as a Saints fan, seeing De Koning joining the Saints, you're just really, really happy to see him succeeding right here after round 3. Now, obviously, later in the year, Tom De Koning got shoved into the forward line because Michael Voss is a terrible coach and makes petty moves because TDK was leaving to my Saints. And what makes this so exciting, too, ladies and gentlemen, just a bit of a news story for you all. Just before I hit record, literally minutes before, Jack Silvani Sauce has chosen the Saints as his new club. And I'm so damn happy, but we'll talk about that in future episodes of the podcast. Let's go back into the Scoops Medal for the round 4 votes. Round 4, Collingwood v Carlton. Collingwood, S. Pendlebury, 1 vote. Carlton, O. Hollins, 1 vote. Sorry, 2 votes. Carlton, G. Hewitt, 3 votes. Geelong v Melbourne. Geelong, C. O'Sullivan, 1 vote. Melbourne, C. Oliver, 2 votes. Melbourne, S. May, 3 votes. Gold Coast v Adelaide. Gold Coast, J. Witts, 1 vote. Adelaide, T. Walker, 2 votes. Adelaide, R. Thilthorpe, 3 votes. Richmond v Brisbane. Brisbane, J. Fletcher, 1 vote. Brisbane, W. Ashcroft, 2 votes. Brisbane, Al Neil, 3 votes. North Melbourne v Sydney. North Melbourne, Al Parker, 1 vote. Sydney, W. Haywood, 2 votes. Sydney, R. Bice, 3 votes. GWS v West Coast. GWS, Al Whitfield, 1 vote. GWS, Tom Green, 2 votes. GWS, J. Hogan, 3 votes. Port Adelaide v St Kilda. Port Adelaide, J. Horne-Francis, 1 vote. St Kilda, N. Wanganeen Malira, 2 votes. St Kilda, J. Sinclair, 3 votes. Fremantle v Western Bulldogs. Fremantle, A. Brayshaw, 1 vote. Fremantle, C. Sarong, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, S. Darcy, 3 votes. The leaderboard after round 4, exact same as round 3. Tom De Koning's in second place on 6 votes, and still the leader on 8 votes after round 4 is Jack McRae. I mean, how good that we got the 2 Saints on top of the leaderboard still. But will that remain? Time will tell. Well, technically, Tom De Koning got these votes as a Carlton player, but you know what I'm getting at. Let's go right into round 5. Round 5, Adelaide v Geelong. Geelong, M. Holmes, 1 vote. Geelong, B. Smith, 2 votes. Adelaide, M. Keane, 3 votes. Collingwood v Sydney. Sydney, I. Heaney, 1 vote. Collingwood, N. Dacos, 2 votes. Collingwood, N. Long, 3 votes. North Melbourne v Gold Coast. Gold Coast, M. Rao, 1 vote. North Melbourne, C. Daniel, 2 votes. Gold Coast, B. King, 3 votes. Carlton v West Coast. Carlton, A. Sard, 1 vote. Carlton, G. Hewitt, 2 votes. Carlton, S. Walsh, 3 votes. Western Bulldogs v Brisbane. Brisbane, H. McCluggage, 1 vote. Brisbane, Z. Bailey, 2 votes. Brisbane, E. Hipwood, 3 votes. Melbourne v Essendon. Essendon, Z. Merritt, 1 vote. Essendon, Z. Reid, 2 votes. Essendon, J. Menzies, 3 votes. Richmond v Fremantle. Richmond, J. Hopper, 1 vote. Fremantle, A. Brayshaw, 2 votes. Fremantle, J. Tracy, 3 votes. St Kilda v GWS. St Kilda, N. Wanganeen Malira, 1 vote. GWS, C. Ward, 2 votes. GWS, T. being Toby Green, 3 votes. Port Adelaide v Hawthorn. Port Adelaide, C. Rosie, 1 vote. Hawthorn, J. Gunston, 2 votes. Port Adelaide, Z. Butters, 3 votes. The leaderboard after round 5. All on 6 votes. Ben King, Toby Green, Tom De Koning, and Zach Merritt. And still first on 8 votes, it is none other than the Saints star recruit, Jack McRae, on the 8 votes. Will Jack McRae keep his lead come the end of the home and away season? You're going to have to wait and find out, just like everyone watching. Make sure you're liking the video, subscribing, and sharing it around. Now, that's a leaderboard there on the screen. Now I'm going to go through some retirees from season 2025. Courage personified. Jimmy Webster, a man that played over 130 AFL games, a warrior, a leader in the back line. You know, he could take on some of the competition's best small forwards at the time, like Charlie Cameron, you know, some guys like that. Luke Bruce, he'd always be on the best, Jimmy Webster. He'd put his courage on the line each and every single week. Jimmy personifies a warrior, courageous, a leader. Back of the flight, when he retired, I put a video on one of my streams, and we just seen all the brave, courageous acts that Jimmy Webster had. We wish Jimmy all the best in retirement, mate. Really happy to see the career you had. It was a good one at the Saints. You know, a guy we could always rely on. So well done to Jimmy Webster. Travis Boak, a first ballot Hall of Famer, a Poilade legend, a Poilade icon. There was a time when he could have gone to Geelong, and he tried to, but he didn't. He's one of the club's greatest ever players, a player that people always look up to and know that it was so great, personally, seeing his last game against Gold Coast be a victory that he and Ken Inkley deserved the most. So on to Travis Boak on an amazing career, best and fairest winners, all Australians. He's done it all. He's been a captain at the club, been through so much, and we're proud of Trav and the career he's had. Obviously, Rory Atkins is another guy who retired throughout his career. Played at 3 clubs, played at Gold Coast, Adelaide, and this year at Port Adelaide. Over 130 AFL games. Well done to Rory Atkins also on his career. Now, let's go right into the round 6 votes. Round 6, Brisbane v Collingwood. Brisbane, Al Ashcroft, 1 vote. Collingwood, J Dacos, 2 votes. Collingwood, N Dacos, 3 votes. North Melbourne v Carlton. Carlton, J Motlop, 1 vote. Carlton, A Chera, 2 votes. Carlton, G Hewitt, 3 votes. West Coast v Essendon. West Coast, E Hewitt, 1 vote. West Coast, J McGovern, 2 votes. Essendon, P Wright, 3 votes. Melbourne v Fremantle. Fremantle, A Brayshaw, 1 vote. Melbourne, M Gawn, 2 votes. Melbourne, K Pickett, 3 votes. Adelaide v GWS. GWS, C Iden, 1 vote. GWS, Tom Green, 2 votes. GWS, Al Whitfield, 3 votes. Richmond v Gold Coast. Richmond, N Bolter, 1 vote. Richmond, T Taranto, 2 votes. Richmond, N Vloston, 3 votes. Sydney v Port Adelaide. Sydney, A Francis, 1 vote. Sydney, M Roberts, 3 votes. Sydney, B Grundy, 3 votes. Western Bulldogs v St Kilda. Western Bulldogs, M Bontempelli, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, B Williams, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, R Sanders, 3 votes. Geelong v Hawthorn. Geelong, S Manor, 1 vote. Hawthorn, J Gunston, 2 votes. Hawthorn, K Amon, 3 votes. The leaderboard after round 6. Jack McRae is still on 8 votes on top, but he has now an equal leader also on 8 votes. It is N Dacos. So we're that many rounds in, and Jack McRae has some competition at the top. So that's after round 6. So it's very, very interesting. And you know, it is what it is. Now, 2 names I would like to continue on with this retirement tour. Congratulations to Mitch Duncan on an amazing career at the Geelong Football Club. You know, there's not many players at Geelong that I will respect. But Mitch Duncan is someone I'll have time for. He has played over 300 games. He's a 3-time premiership player. He's had all the amazing accolades. He's had some opportunities to leave over the last few years, and he's probably been disrespected a little bit by Geelong the last few years. I mean, there's players that he should be playing against, playing over that he isn't currently playing ahead of. But this is all about Mitch Duncan on an amazing career. I had the honour to meet Mitch Duncan probably 3 years ago, maybe 2020 range. A great guy. Had a good chat with him for a little bit. off camera and speaking to him about, being from the area I'm in, and that, he's like, oh, do you go for Geelong? I said, no. But the chat we had, it was just a great chat. Mitch is a wonderful guy, and he's highly respected by a lot of people. Not a dirty player, a great guy. There's only a few Geelong players I respect, and Mitch is one of them. And I know Mitch on an amazing career, mate. Hopefully Geelong play you in this final series, but time will tell. And mate, well done on your career. The Gov, not a way for a guy to retire through serious concussion issues, but Jeremy McGovern, an Eagles legend, an AFL legend. His final series when they won the premiership, where Dom Sheed got that winning goal, it was just simply amazing. Gov is a true warrior, a leader, puts his body on the line, a true icon of the West Coast Eagles. You think of inspirational defenders or inspirational players at the Eagles, you look no further than the Gov, Jeremy McGovern. Been through so much injury, and then produced all Australian level performances over his career. Recently, as last year, he was in the All Australian team or squad or thereabouts. He was in the squad at worst, but I think he made the team, and he absolutely warranted that. Gov was a big out for the Eagles when they lost Tom Barrass. Gov was still there. Gov was still doing Gov things. An icon for the Eagles, a premiership player, and a guy that will never be forgotten from the West Coast Eagles. One under Jeremy McGovern. I mentioned Dom Sheed. I remember watching his retirement press conference, just like his post-game career presser, just like post-match is what I meant to say, but not post-match, but post-career presser. His retirement speech, basically, in front of the media. Dom Sheed, forever will be known as the guy that single-handedly won the Eagles the 2018 premiership. But it was everything around that. Liam Ryan and Jeremy McGovern also started that chain, which led to Liam Ryan, which then led to Dom Sheed and left foot from the pocket. Still gives Pies fans nightmares. But Dom Sheed, he's underselling his career. A great left footer, really good, consistent winger. His big career highlight, he said, obviously, is that grand final and that kick. But it wasn't just him. He gave credit to Gov and Liam Ryan and everyone around that was part of that chain, which led to the Dom Sheed goal. His whole team, the way they performed and everything like that. Dom Sheed is a West Coast legend purely for the fact of that grand final moment alone. They don't win that premiership if Dom Sheed doesn't kick that. So Dom Sheed will forever be known as the man who won the Eagles the 2018 grand final. So on to Dom Sheed and everyone I've just congratulated. I'm sure there's others. I'm sure I've missed some others. But I just wanted to highlight those guys in particular that I thought of to mention. I know I'm probably missing heaps, and I'll probably be kicking myself that I haven't mentioned certain names, but it just is what it is, and then the names that come to mind. So on to all those guys that I've just covered on an amazing career. Now, let's now go to the next round of votes, shall we? Yeah. All right. So, all right. Actually, I don't even know what the hell I've yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, round 7 we're up to. Round 7. I was right the first time. Never doubt yourself. That's a key quote you can live by. So, all right, round 7. Richmond v Melbourne. Melbourne, J. Bowie, 1 vote. Melbourne, M. Gawn, 2 votes. Melbourne, C. Petrarca, 3 votes. Collingwood v Essendon. Collingwood, J. Dacos, 1 vote. Collingwood, S. Sidebottom, 2 votes. Collingwood, J. Elliott, 3 votes. Fremantle v Adelaide. Fremantle, J. Clark, 1 vote. Fremantle, C. Sarong, 2 votes. Fremantle, A. Brayshaw, 3 votes. St Kilda v Brisbane. St Kilda, N. Wanganeen Malira, 1 vote. Brisbane, Al Neil, 2 votes. Brisbane, Z. Bailey, 3 votes. Port Adelaide v North Melbourne. Port Adelaide, Z. Butters, 1 vote. North Melbourne, Al Parker, 2 votes. North Melbourne, T. Cherry, 3 votes. GWS v Western Bulldogs. GWS, Al Whitfield, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, M. Kennedy, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, J. Harms, 3 votes. Gold Coast v Sydney. Gold Coast, B. King, 1 vote. Gold Coast, B. Humphrey, 2 votes. Sydney, C. Warner, 3 votes. Carlton v Geelong. Carlton, G. Hewitt, 1 vote. Carlton, P. Cripps, 2 votes. Carlton, H. McKay, 3 votes. Hawthorn v West Coast. Hawthorn, Al Meek, 1 vote. Hawthorn, J. Gunston, 2 votes. Hawthorn, J. Battle, 3 votes. The Scoops leaderboard, Scoops medal leaderboard after round 7. Equal first on 8 votes is Jack McRae and Dacos. And now, joining them in equal first is Andrew Brayshaw from the Dockers. Well, I just quietly reckon that Andrew Brayshaw has polled in the most games. He's got a lot of 1s and 2s and just polled a 3. So Andrew Brayshaw has been a consistent performer in the first 7 rounds. Now, there's probably some names you're probably wondering, gee, they haven't polled a vote, or only they've just been polling now. Like, all the names that you think are in contention haven't polled too many. I mean, I'm not going to spell the names out for you. You know who you think are in contention. Some have polled probably a lot more than you probably may have thought, but it is what it is. And as I always say, expect the unexpected. Round 8, Essendon v North Melbourne. North Melbourne, H. Sheasel, 1 vote. Essendon, Z. Merritt, 2 votes. North Melbourne, T. Cherry, 3 votes. St Kilda v Fremantle. St Kilda, C. Wilkie, 1 vote. St Kilda, C. Sharman, 2 votes. St Kilda, J. McRae, 3 votes. Western Bulldogs v Port Adelaide. Western Bulldogs, M. Kennedy, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, E. Richards, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, T. English, 3 votes. Adelaide v Carlton. Adelaide, M. Michelani, 1 vote. Adelaide, J. Dawson, 2 votes. Adelaide, I. Rankin, 3 votes. Western Bulldogs v Melbourne. Melbourne, C. Petrarca, 1 vote. Melbourne, K. Chandler, 2 votes. Melbourne, M. Gawn, 3 votes. Collingwood v Geelong. Collingwood, S. Pendlebury, 1 vote. Geelong, B. Smith, 2 votes. Collingwood, D. Cameron, 3 votes. Sydney v GWS. GWS, L. Ash, 1 vote. GWS, Tom Green, 2 votes. GWS, F. Callahan, 3 votes. Hawthorn v Richmond. Hawthorn, C. Giath, 1 vote. Hawthorn, J. Battle, 2 votes. Hawthorn, M. D'Ambrosio, 3 votes. Brisbane v Gold Coast. Gold Coast, T. Miller, 1 vote. Brisbane, L. Ashcroft, 2 votes. Brisbane, W. Ashcroft, 3 votes. The leaderboard after round 8. In equal second place on 8 votes. Zach Merritt is finally in the leaderboard. Nick Dacos and Andrew Brayshaw. And outright leader, after polling 3 votes in that round on 11 votes, it's the inaugural Scoops medal winner, Jack McRae. Now, Jack McRae is flying. He's on 11 votes after round 8. There's a lot of names that you may think are in contention. They haven't polled any or many votes at all. Who is going to win the Scoops medal? Comment down below. If you haven't got your friends watching so far, get them on, because we're just getting started and it's going to be a vote count you don't ever want to miss. Now, before we get into the round 9 votes, it is now time to crown the Scoops Rising Star winner for season 2025. I declare the winners of the Scoops Rising Star for season 2025, none other than Levi Ashcroft and Archie Roberts. Now, you're probably wondering, wow, you've gone a tie. Why not Murphy Reid? Why not Dan Curtin? Why not Alex Taru? Well, Taru didn't play enough games for me. As for Murphy Reid, no. He was good, but not that good. And don't give me Dan Curtin. I don't even want to hear that. I'm certain Curtin wasn't a winner. Now, Levi Ashcroft, I can't believe the disrespect that Levi Ashcroft has gotten throughout this year in his first year. I mean, just because he's in a stacked midfield doesn't mean he has to get 30 touches. He's still averaging around 20 disposals and playing in the start team, playing up forward, always playing his role. His first half in particular was electric, and he was still pretty consistent in the back half. Archie Roberts was consistent at the start, but in particular, his back half was electric. And I couldn't split the two. I mean, Levi probably does more damage, but Archie was pretty damn consistent in the back end in particular. So it was really a line ball for me. But congratulations to Levi Ashcroft from the Brisbane Lions and Archie Roberts from the Bombers for being the Scoops 2025 AFL Rising Stars. Absolutely deserved from 2 stars of the competition. Now, let's get back into the round 9 votes, shall we? Round 9, Fremantle v Collingwood. Fremantle, Jay Clark, 1 vote. Collingwood, Jay Crisp, 2 votes. Collingwood, Jay Elliott, 3 votes. St Kilda v Carlton. Carlton, Jay Binns, 1 vote. St Kilda, Jay Sinclair, 2 votes. Carlton, H. Mackay, 3 votes. Melbourne v Hawthorn. Hawthorn, M. D'Ambrosio, 1 vote. Melbourne, H. Langford, 2 votes. Hawthorn, J. Gunston, 3 votes. Essendon v Sydney. Essendon, A. McGrath, 1 vote. Essendon, Z. Reid, 2 votes. Essendon and Martin, 3 votes. Gold Coast v Western Bulldogs. Western Bulldogs, E. Richards, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, B. Dale, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, T. Liberatore, 3 votes. Port Adelaide v Adelaide. Port Adelaide, C. Rosie, 1 vote. Port Adelaide, Z. Butters, 2 votes. Adelaide, R. O'Brien, 3 votes. Richmond v West Coast. Richmond, T. Taranto, 1 vote. West Coast, J. Graham, 2 votes. Richmond, S. Banks, 3 votes. Geelong v GWS. Geelong, B. Smith, 1 vote. GWS, Tom Green, 2 votes. GWS, J. Hogan, 3 votes. North Melbourne v Brisbane. North Melbourne, L. Davies Uniacke, 1 vote. North Melbourne, L. Parker, 2 votes. Brisbane, D. Zorko, 3 votes. Now the Scoops leaderboard for the AFL medal after round 9. I can't believe we're saying this, that a 34-year-old, 35, 36, I'm not sure of his exact age off the top of my head, but at 35 years of age, let's just say, for argument's sake, in second place after round 9 on 9 votes is the Hawks veteran, Jack Gunston. And in first place on 11 votes, it's still Jack McRae. Who the hell would have thought a 35-year-old Jack Gunston would be in the top 2 of the medal count after round 9? Amazing scenes. Jack Gunston has just revitalised his career and probably looked over at Brisbane and in the back end of Hawthorn. And then this year, he kicked over 60 goals, top 5 in the Coleman, a superstar, made my All-Australian team, made the AFL's rigged All-Australian team, but he deserved it. So that was actually one decision they actually got right. Gee, they rarely get anything right. They got one thing right at least. Because the other team was shit. Most of the team they selected was shit. But amazing career Jack Gunston has had. Premiership player, just simply amazing. Can this form stack up come the end of the vote count night? Because we all know that Jack Gunston has had some games we kicked 7 or 6 goals. So, as I said from the start, expect the unexpected. Righty, round 10. Here we go. Round 10. Gold Coast v Hawthorn. Gold Coast, J Noble, 1 vote. Hawthorn, K Amon, 2 votes. Gold Coast, N Anderson, 3 votes. Sydney v Carlton. Carlton, A Chera, 1 vote. Sydney, C Warner, 2 votes. Sydney, I Heaney, 3 votes. Collingwood v Adelaide. Adelaide, I Rankin, 1 vote. Collingwood, J Dacos, 2 votes. Adelaide, D Fogarty, 3 votes. GWS v Fremantle. GWS, L Ash, 1 vote. Fremantle, S Bolton, 2 votes. Fremantle, C Sarong, 3 votes. Port Adelaide v Geelong. Geelong, B Smith, 1 vote. Geelong, O Dempsey, 2 votes. Geelong, J Cameron, that being Jeremy Cameron, 3 votes. Western Bulldogs v Essendon. Western Bulldogs, T Liberatore, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, R West, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, B Dale, 3 votes. Richmond v North Melbourne. North Melbourne, C McKercher, 1 vote. North Melbourne, T Cherry, 2 votes. GWS. North Melbourne, L Davies Uniac, 3 votes. Brisbane v Melbourne. Melbourne, J Melksham, 1 vote. Brisbane, W Ashcroft, 2 votes. Brisbane, D Gardner, 3 votes. Western Bulldogs v St Kilda. St Kilda, J Higgins, 1 vote. St Kilda, R Marshall, 2 votes. St Kilda, J Sinclair, 3 votes. The leaderboard after round 10 of the Scoops Medal in equal second place on 9 votes with Jack Gunston is Bailey Smith. For the first time, it's taken 10 rounds for Bailey Smith's name to appear on the leaderboard. And in first place, still on 11 votes, it is the inaugural Scoops Medal winner, Jack McRae. Can Jack McRae be the first ever 2-time Scoops Medal winner? It'd be very fitting for the inaugural winner to be the first 2-time winner as well. But here is the leaderboard after round 11. So, sorry, after round 10, I should say. But there you have it. Bailey Smith is on the leaderboard there. So, for the first time, which is very interesting. But let's get right into the round 11 vote, shall we? Round 11, Geelong v Western Bulldogs. Western Bulldogs, T Liberatore, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, M Kennedy, 2 votes. Geelong, J Cameron, 3 votes. Essendon v Richmond. Essendon, A Roberts, 1 vote. Essendon, Z Merritt, 2 votes. Essendon, N Martin, 3 votes. Carlton v GWS. Carlton, P Cripps, 1 vote. GWS, N Haynes, 2 votes. GWS, Toby Green, 3 votes. Hawthorn v Brisbane. Hawthorn, C McDonald, 1 vote. Brisbane, Al Neal, 2 votes. Brisbane, C.R. Chi, 3 votes. North Melbourne v Collingwood. North Melbourne, R Hardiman, 1 vote. Collingwood, J Dacos, 2 votes. Collingwood, N Long, 3 votes. Fremantle v Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide, O Wines, 1 vote. Fremantle, C Sarong, 2 votes. Fremantle, M Reid, 3 votes. Adelaide v West Coast. Adelaide, R O'Brien, 1 vote. Adelaide, J Rochelle, 2 votes. Adelaide, S Berry, 3 votes. Melbourne v Sydney. Sydney, B Grundy, 1 vote. Melbourne, C Salem, 2 votes. Melbourne, K Pickett, 3 votes. St Kilda v Gold Coast. St Kilda, J Sinclair, 1 vote. Gold Coast, N Anderson, 2 votes. St Kilda, J Steele, 3 votes. The leaderboard after round 11 in equal second place on 10 votes. Zach Merritt is on the leaderboard again with Caleb Sarong. And in 11 votes on top still is the inaugural Scoops Medal winner, Jack McRae. Now let's put the leaderboard up. So there you go. That's the leaderboard after round 11. So, who do you think is going to win? We're almost halfway in the Scoops medal. We've got Jack McRae, Zach Merritt, Caleb Sarong, and you've seen Bailey Smith and a few other names in contention. We've heard Josh Dacos a fair bit tonight so far. You've heard Jack Sinclair a fair bit tonight. Some other names you still haven't heard much of. Bailey Smith's polled a lot of 1 or 2 vote games. Will that impact his chance at the end of the year? He's obviously still in the conversation, clearly. So we'll have to wait and see. But now it is time to announce my Scoops Mark of the Year for 2025. I declare the winner of the Scoops Mark of the Year for season 2025 to the Gold Coast star forward, Ben King. Ben King took an amazing hanger late in the season against Carlton. And I thought, how amazing was it from Ben King? Second in the Coleman, robbed of All-Australian. He absolutely hasn't been robbed this time around, in my eyes, because I had him in my All-Australian team, and he is rightfully the winner of the 2025 Scoops AFL Mark of the Year. Ben King versus the Blues. Bit of hang time from Ben King. I was going to say Max King. Ben King. But yeah, an amazing mark from one of the great key forwards in the game right now. All right, let's now get into the round 12 votes. We're halfway almost. Round 12, Brisbane v Essendon. Brisbane, W. Ashcroft, 1 vote. Essendon, N. Martin, 2 votes. Brisbane, H. McCluggage, 3 votes. Collingwood v Hawthorn. Collingwood, S. Sidebottom, 1 vote. Hawthorn, J. Ginnivan, 2 votes. Collingwood, J. Elliott, 3 votes. Gold Coast v Fremantle. Fremantle, A. Brayshaw, 1 vote. Fremantle, J. Clark, 2 votes. Gold Coast, N. Anderson, 3 votes. GWS v Richmond. GWS, L. Whitfield, 1 vote. GWS, Tom Green, 2 votes. Richmond, D. Prestia, 3 votes. Sydney v Adelaide. Adelaide, B. Keys, 1 vote. Sydney, B. Grundy, 2 votes. Adelaide, M. Keane, 3 votes. Melbourne v St Kilda. St Kilda, D. Butler, 1 vote. St Kilda, M. Winhager, 2 votes. St Kilda, C. Wilkie, 3 votes. West Coast v Geelong. Geelong, G. Myers, 1 vote. Geelong, S. Manor, 2 votes. West Coast, Al Baker, 3 votes. The leaderboard after round 12. We're halfway there, ladies and gentlemen. In equal second place on 10 votes each. Tom Green is on the leaderboard for the first time tonight. Last year's winner is finally in the leaderboard on 10 votes with Zach Merritt and Caleb Sarong. And in equal first place on 11 votes with Jack McRae, also for the first time on the leaderboard this evening. And his equal first as of right now is Noah Anderson after round 12. Wow. So this is the first time that Noah Anderson has featured in the leaderboard. Still no Bailey Smith at the top, as that is some people's predictions for this round. He is not there. There's the leaderboard for you all. Zach Merritt. No Zach Butters yet. Connor Rosie's pulled a fair bit in mine. He's just around the mark. Nasiah, the Messiah. Where is Naz? Time will tell. Jack Sinclair's been mentioned a few times. We've seen some rucks, in particular at Melbourne, start to get some votes with Max Scorn. Tristan Sherry's polled some votes. Haven't heard of him for a few rounds. We'll have to wait and see. Comment down below who you still think will win the Scoops medal. This is something that you already said. Time will tell. Now, it is time for the round 13 Scoops medal votes. Round 13. Western Bulldogs v Hawthorn. Hawthorn, M. Chol, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, B. Dale, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, M. Kennedy, 3 votes. Adelaide v Brisbane. Brisbane, J. Fletcher, 1 vote. Adelaide, B. Keys, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs. Brisbane, W. Ashcroft, 3 votes. Richmond v Sydney. Sydney, J. McInerney, 1 vote. Sydney, B. Grundy, 2 votes. Sydney and Blakey, 3 votes. Geelong v Gold Coast. Gold Coast, B. Fiorini, 1 vote. Geelong, T. Stewart, 2 votes. Geelong, M. Holmes, 3 votes. GWS v Port Adelaide. GWS, J. Buckley, 1 vote. Port Adelaide, Z. Butters, 2 votes. GWS, Tom Green, 3 votes. North Melbourne v West Coast. North Melbourne, J. Simpkin, 1 vote. North Melbourne, C. Daniel, 2 votes. North Melbourne, T. Cherry, 3 votes. Carlton v Essendon. Carlton, B. Akers, 1 vote. Essendon and Martin, 2 votes. Carlton, T. De Koning, 3 votes. Melbourne v Western Bulldogs. Melbourne v Collingwood. Collingwood, S. Pendlebury, 1 vote. Collingwood, J. Howe, 2 votes. Collingwood, J. Dacos, 3 votes. TDK's back in the votes. Josh Dacos polling well again. The leaderboard after round 13. In equal second place, all on 11 votes. Jack McRae, Noah Anderson, Will Ashcroft is back in the leaderboard. And for the first time this evening, Tristan Cherry, but now an outright leader on 13 votes, 2 votes ahead of those guys I just mentioned, is the most recent Scoops Medal winner on 13 votes, Tom Green. Will Tom Green go back-to-back? With 13 rounds in, 13 votes for Tom Green. Tom Green is on 13 votes after round 13. Is that an omen to say? 13 is an unlucky number, they say, but will 13 be a lucky number for Tom Green this evening? Time will tell. Zach Butters is polling again. Tom De Koning and Cherry are polling a lot. Zach Butters is going again, but not in the leaderboard just yet. Time will tell. Naz. We haven't heard Naz's name much. Can he make a late surge in the Scoops Medal? You're going to have to pick it up very quickly, as he's probably not on many votes. Round 14. Did I put the leaderboard up after that round? Well, I forgot if I put the leaderboard up, so let me put it up for you all here. So it's the leaderboard after round 13. Right there. So pause the video if you need. Let's go to round 14. Round 14, St Kilda v Western Bulldogs. St Kilda, J. Sinclair, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, B. Williams, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, B. Dale, 3 votes. Hawthorn v Adelaide. Adelaide, B. Keys, 1 vote. Hawthorn, J. Impey, 2 votes. Hawthorn, D. Moore, 3 votes. Brisbane v GWS. Brisbane, L. Morris, 1 vote. GWS, J. Hogan, 2 votes. GWS, A. Cadman, 3 votes. Essendon v Geelong. Geelong, J. Cameron, 1 vote. Essendon, W. Setterfield, 2 votes. Geelong, M. Holmes, 3 votes. North Melbourne v Fremantle. Fremantle, A. Brayshaw, 1 vote. North Melbourne, H. Sheasel, 2 votes. Fremantle, C. Sarong, 3 votes. Port Adelaide v Melbourne. Port Adelaide, C. Rosie, 1 vote. Port Adelaide, Jason Horn-Francis, 2 votes. Port Adelaide, M. Georgiades, 3 votes. West Coast v Carlton. Carlton, J. Binns, 1 vote. West Coast, T. McCarthy, 2 votes. Carlton, T. De Koning, 3 votes. The Scoops Medal leaderboard after round 14 in equal second place, both on the leaderboard for the first time and maybe the last time, or maybe they're going to stay there. Both equal second on 12 votes. Bailey Dale from the Bulldogs and Tom De Koning. Wow. And in equal first place on 13 votes, we have Tom Green. And for the first time on top of the leaderboard currently this evening, from the Dockers, it's Caleb Sarong. Sarong, so right. Is it a green day for Tom Green? Is it a good day or is it a bad day? We're over halfway in the Scoops Medal. And gee, who will win? Your guess is as good as mine. Tom De Koning starts to play forward a little bit now. So will his run continue? Time will tell. But yeah, let's go on to the next round of votes. It's going to be a big round here to go through, and that is round 15. Right, so round 15. Fremantle v Essendon. Fremantle, Al Ryan, 1 vote. Fremantle, Al Jackson, 2 votes. Fremantle, C. Sarong, 3 votes. Geelong v Brisbane. Brisbane, Al Morris, 1 vote. Brisbane, W. Ashcroft, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, he used to be at the Western Bulldogs. Brisbane, J. Dunkley, 3 votes. Carlton v North Melbourne. North Melbourne, H. Sheasel, 1 vote. North Melbourne, Al Parker, 2 votes. North Melbourne, T. Powell, 3 votes. Port Adelaide v Sydney. Port Adelaide, Z. Butters, 1 vote. Sydney, I. Heaney, 2 votes. Sydney, B. Grundy, 3 votes. Collingwood v St Kilda. St Kilda, R. Marshall, 1 vote. St Kilda, C. Wilkie, 2 votes. Collingwood, P. Lipinski, 3 votes. GWS v West Coast. Gold Coast, Took Miller, 1 vote. GWS, Tom Green, 2 votes. Gold Coast. So this is GWS v Gold Coast. My apologies, not West Coast. GWS v Gold Coast. Gold Coast, T. Miller, 1 vote. GWS, Tom Green, 2 votes. Gold Coast, Ann Anderson, 3 votes. Western Bulldogs v Richmond. Western Bulldogs, S. Darcy, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, T. English, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, M. Bontempelli, 3 votes. The leaderboard after round 15 of the Scoops Medal in 3rd place on 14 votes. For not only the first time this evening on the leaderboard on 14 votes, Noah Anderson. In 2nd place, off top for now on 15 votes, is Tom Green. And outright first currently on 16 votes is Caleb Sarong from the Freo Footy Club. So that's the leaderboard after round 15. We've got up until obviously round 24, so we're not quite there yet. But gee, this scoreboard is just heating up. That's the leaderboard after round 15. Now let's go into the round 16 votes. Round 16, Port Adelaide v Carlton. Port Adelaide, C. Rosie, 1 vote. Port Adelaide, M. Georgiades, 2 votes. Port Adelaide, Z. Butters, 3 votes. Sydney v Western Bulldogs. Sydney, E. Goulden, 1 vote. Sydney, I. Heaney, 2 votes. Sydney, B. Grundy, 3 votes. Gold Coast v Melbourne. Gold Coast, J. Noble, 1 vote. Gold Coast, M. Rao, 2 votes. Melbourne, J. Melksham, 3 votes. Hawthorn v North Melbourne. North Melbourne, Al Parker, 1 vote. Hawthorn, K. Amon, 2 votes. Hawthorn, J. Gunston, 3 votes. Collingwood v West Coast. Collingwood, S. Pendlebury, 1 vote. Collingwood, N. Dacos, 2 votes. West Coast, Al Baker, 3 votes. Richmond v Adelaide. Adelaide, J. Dawson, 1 vote. Adelaide, R. Thilthorpe, 2 votes. Adelaide, D. Curtin, 3 votes. Fremantle v St Kilda. St Kilda, A. Taru, 1 vote. St Kilda, R. Marshall, 2 votes. St Kilda, M. Hall, 3 votes. The leaderboard after round 16, we got a new person on the leaderboard. In 4th place on 13 votes, it's Will Ashcroft. In 3rd place on 14 votes is Noah Anderson. In 15th, with 15 votes, in 2nd place is Tom Green. And in 1st place on 16 votes, 1 vote ahead of Tom Green, 2 votes ahead of Anderson, and 3 votes ahead of Will Ashcroft. On 16 votes is Caleb Sarong from the Dockers. Round 16, we've just wrapped up. Caleb Sarong is on 16 votes. Is that an omen? Is that a good omen or a bad omen? Time will tell. Tom Green was on 13 after round 13. Now, Caleb Sarong's on 16 votes after round 16 on top. Will either guy be a Scoops Medal winner for the first or second time? We'll have to wait and see. Now, let's go to the round 17 votes in just a second. Comment down below, ladies and gentlemen, who you think is going to win the Scoops Medal. Now, I'm going to make sure I put up the right graphic here. So that's around 16. Comment down below your thoughts so far. What do you think of the count? And oh, we're just getting started and still expect the unexpected. Maybe some names you've never thought about are just as close as you may not have thought. There may be names that you thought, I haven't heard them too much. But there's a lot of players underneath these names that you just don't understand how many players are truly still in contention, and we're 16 rounds in. It is wide open. The race is open. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 names here. Yeah, 4 names. I can guarantee you there's at least 15 names that's still mathematically possible, at least. So expect the unexpected. Round 17. North Melbourne v Western Bulldogs. Western Bulldogs, T. Liberatore, 1 vote. North Melbourne, C. McKercher, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, A. Norton, 3 votes. Carlton v Collingwood. Collingwood, S. Pendlebury, 1 vote. Collingwood, J. Elliott, 2 votes. Collingwood, N. Dacos, 3 votes. West Coast v GWS. GWS, X. O'Halloran, 1 vote. GWS, Tom Green, 2 votes. GWS, F. Callahan, 3 votes. Essendon v Gold Coast. Gold Coast, J. Jeffrey, 1 vote. Gold Coast, N. Anderson, 2 votes. Essendon, Z. Merritt, 3 votes. Geelong v Richmond. Richmond, R. Mansell, 1 vote. Geelong, J. Cameron, 2 votes. Geelong, M. Holmes, 3 votes. St Kilda v Hawthorn. St Kilda, J. McRae, 1 vote. St Kilda, N. Wanganeen Malira, 2 votes. St Kilda, M. Hall, 3 votes. Brisbane v Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide, Z. Butters, 1 vote. Brisbane, L. Neal, 2 votes. Brisbane, Z. Bailey, 3 votes. Sydney v Fremantle. Sydney, C. Mills, 1 vote. Sydney, E. Goulden, 2 votes. Sydney, B. Grundy, 3 votes. Adelaide v Melbourne. Melbourne, S. May, 1 vote. Adelaide, I. Rankin, 2 votes. Melbourne, D. Turner, 3 votes. The Scoops Medal leaderboard after round 17 in 3rd place for the first time this evening on the leaderboard on 15 votes, with a lot of players underneath. On 15 votes is Brodie Grundy for the first time this evening. In equal 2nd place on 16 votes is Caleb Sarong, and now joined again by Noah Anderson. And in 1st place, outright first on 17 votes, is Tom Green, last year's Scoops Medal winner. Will Tom Green go back-to-back and be the first player, along with Jazz Garner, to go back-to-back in consecutive Scoops Medals? Time will tell if Tom Green will etch his name in history and be the first AFL player to go back-to-back and be the second player in Scoops Medal history to go back-to-back. And fun fact, the previous 2 years was Jazz Garner. Is Tom Green going to copy that going back-to-back? Now, let's go right into the round 18 votes because, like I said multiple times already, we're just getting started, ladies and gentlemen. We've still got so many more rounds to go. So let's go. Comment down below. Share this video around. There's still time for you to get your mates on board. If they're debating, if they're watching Home and Away, Better Homes and Gardens, Neighbours, 2.5 Men, Big Bang Theory, whether they're watching bloody Love Island or Married at First Sight or My Kitchen Rules or Deal or No Deal or Tipping Point or any of those shows, tell them, put that on the back burner. The Scoops Medal's on. What are you doing? Tell them they must be watching this. There's still plenty of time to go. Get your popcorn ready. Refill your coffee because we're just getting started, ladies and gentlemen. Round 18. Here we go. Round 18. Carlton v Brisbane. Brisbane, D. Zorko, 1 vote. Brisbane, Al Neil, 2 votes. Brisbane, J. Dunkley, 3 votes. Gold Coast v Collingwood. Gold Coast, N. Anderson, 1 vote. Collingwood, J. Dacos, 2 votes. Gold Coast, M. Rowell, 3 votes. Western Bulldogs v Adelaide. Adelaide, J. Dawson, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, M. Bontempelli, 2 votes. Adelaide, R. Thilthorpe, 3 votes. GWS v Geelong. GWS, Al Whitfield, 1 vote. GWS, F. Callahan, 2 votes. GWS, A. Cadman, 3 votes. Richmond v Essendon. Richmond, J. Hopper, 1 vote. Essendon, A. Roberts, 2 votes. Richmond, T. T. Taranto, 3 votes. Fremantle v Hawthorn. Fremantle, C. Sarong, 1 vote. Fremantle, A. Brayshaw, 2 votes. Hawthorn, K. Amon, again, 3 votes. Melbourne v North Melbourne. North Melbourne, H. Sheasel, 1 vote. Melbourne, J. Melksham, 2 votes. Melbourne, B. Fritsch, 3 votes. St Kilda v Sydney. Sydney, B. Grundy, 1 vote. St Kilda, J. Steele, 2 votes. Steals it off someone. Or does he? St Kilda, 3 votes. Hemwinhager. Port Adelaide v West Coast. West Coast, H. Reid, 1 vote. Port Adelaide, M. Georgiades, 2 votes. Port Adelaide, Z. Butters, 3 votes. The Scoops Medal leaderboard after round 18 in equal second place on 16 votes is Brodie Grundy, and Zach Butters is back on the leaderboard. And in equal first place, all on 17 votes, Caleb Sarong, Tom Green, and Noah Anderson. We're about 6 to 7 rounds to go, ladies and gentlemen. And oh boy, we still don't know who will win the Scoops Medal. This is what makes the Scoops Medal so exciting to watch. Must-watch viewing. The best medal count on social media. You know, forget all these other creators or people that want to do their own medals. That's whatever. They copy my concept. Great to see. But there's no fan medal that matters more than the Scoops Medal. The Scoops Medal is the most important fan-voted medal in history. In AFL history, in football history, in all awards histories. Scoops Medal is the best and better than all the rest. Now, speaking of better than all the rest, it's now time to reveal my mark of the year. Sorry, goal of the year. I declare the winner of the Scoops Goal of the Year for season 2025, none other than the man you're about to watch. Oh, Nasiah, the Messiah, Nasiah Wanganeen Malira.
1 minute and 6 seconds to go. Down by 6. Go Windy! No Mason Wood! Malira! Naz with the hanger! Oh, come on, Naz! This will tie the game with under a minute to go. Come on, Naz. Out of nowhere. Down from 40 points in this quarter. Come on, Naz. Go, Naz. Come on. Come on, Naz. Yes! Pay him anything he wants! The score's a level with probably 10 seconds left. Naz, you fucking machine. Marshall's free. Yes! Go, Rowe! 8 seconds left! Yes! Naz again! Naz again! The heist of the fucking century could happen! Any score, we win! After being 40-odd down in the last quarter, and it's on the side's boot. Any score, we win. No score, it's a draw. Come on, Naz. Go, Naz. Any score, we win. Come on, Naz. Yes! You are a star, Nasiah Wanganeen-Malira. The Saints, the host of the century. Nasiah Wanganeen-Malira. Pay him anything he wants. When the Saints marching in. When the Saints go marching in. Oh, I want to be with St Kilda. When the Saints go.
What a moment, ladies and gentlemen. The 2025 Scoops AFL Goal of the Year ×2 from the Nasiah Wanganeen-Malira against the Demons. The biggest comeback in three-quarter time in AFL VFL history. 46 points down. Naz said, I've got it, gents. 2 goals in 8 seconds. That has got to be a record in its own right. Naz, you are a bona fide star and absolutely warranted the biggest contract in AFL history. Naz, you are a star. Nasiah, the Messiah. There is no doubt about it. That is goal of the year. Because you add in the moment, the occasion, everything we'd been through in that game, the comeback, you add that all together. Naz was highly a good reason why we won that game, not just because of those 2 late goals, just the play he had in the last one, along with Sinclair and co. But the moment itself is easily the mark and goal of the year. Well, not mark of the year, but goal of the year. But a big moment. I was that close to putting him as mark and goal of the year at the same time. Well, what on Naz, the Messiah, with goal of the year. Nasiah, the Messiah. How good was that? What a moment in history that was. Now, let's go straight into the round 19 votes, shall we? Round 19, Essendon v GWS. GWS F. Callahan, 1 vote. GWS J. Stringer, 2 votes. GWS Tom Green, 3 votes. Brisbane v Western Bulldogs. Western Bulldogs are West, 1 vote. Brisbane J. Dunkley, 2 votes. Wasn't a W. Wasn't a Western Bulldogs. It is Brisbane, 3 votes. W. Ashcroft, 3 votes. That's both times Josh Dunkley's polled against his old side. He owns the Western Bulldogs, Josh Dunkley, and so does Will Ashcroft. Hawthorn v Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide, J. Sweet, 1 vote. Wow. Hawthorn, J. Impey, 2 votes. Hawthorn, D. Moore, 3 votes. Sydney v North Melbourne. North Melbourne, J. Simpkin, 1 vote. Sydney, B. Grundy, 2 votes. Sydney, I. Heaney, 3 votes. Carlton v Melbourne. Carlton, C. Curnow, 1 vote. Melbourne, B. Fritsch, 2 votes. Melbourne, K. Pickett, 3 votes. West Coast v Richmond. West Coast, H. Reid, 1 vote. Richmond, J. Hopper, 2 votes. Richmond, T. Taranto, 3 votes. Geelong v St Kilda. St Kilda, R. Marshall, 1 vote. St Kilda, J. Sinclair, 2 votes. St Kilda, Nasiah Wanganeen-Malira, 3 votes. Collingwood v Fremantle. Fremantle, P. Voss, 1 vote. Fremantle, C. Sarong, 2 votes. Collingwood, N. Dacos, 3 votes. Adelaide v Gold Coast. Gold Coast, B. Fiorini, 1 vote. Gold Coast, M. Rowell, 2 votes. Adelaide, A. Neil Bullen, 3 votes. The leaderboard after round 19. In 3rd place on 18 votes, it's Brodie Grundy. In 2nd place on 19 votes, it's Caleb Sarong. And our back outright leader after round 19 on 20 votes, it's Tom Green. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting there. We are getting there, ladies and gentlemen. After round 19, we have Tom Green not still, but at the top. What does that spell for the rest of the competition? We are oh so close from finding out the 2025 Scoops Medal winner. Who will it be? Comment down below. Obviously, your opinions may have changed from time to time. Is Bailey Smith still in contention? Max Holmes polled some votes. What's going on? Matt Rao, Nasai Wayne Malira, Jack Sinclair's been getting a few votes here and there, but not on the leaderboard. There's a lot of players below this list of names that you're probably forgetting about, but that's what makes it more exciting. Let's go. Round 20. Round 20. Hawthorn v Carlton. Hawthorn, J. Impey, 1 vote. Hawthorn, D. Moore, 2 votes. Hawthorn, J. Sicily, 3 votes. Essendon v Western Bulldogs. Western Bulldogs, M. Bontempelli, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, S. Darcy, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, A. Norton, 3 votes. GWS v Sydney. GWS, F. Callahan, 1 vote. GWS, J. Stringer, 2 votes. Sydney, B. Grundy, 3 votes. Gold Coast v Brisbane. Gold Coast, B. Fiorini, 1 vote. Gold Coast, N. Anderson, 2 votes. Gold Coast, M. Rao, 3 votes. Fremantle v West Coast. Fremantle, A. Brayshaw, 1 vote. Fremantle, H. Young, 2 votes. West Coast, Al Baker, 3 votes. North Melbourne v Geelong. Geelong, B. Smith, 1 vote. Sydney, North Melbourne, he used to play at Sydney. Al Parker, 2 votes. Geelong, J. Cameron, 3 votes. Adelaide v Port Adelaide. Adelaide, B. Keys, 1 vote. Port Adelaide, Z. Butters, 2 votes. Adelaide, J. Saligo, 3 votes. Richmond v Collingwood. Richmond, J. Hopper, 1 vote. Richmond, N. Vloston, 2 votes. Collingwood, N. Dacos, 3 votes. St Kilda v Melbourne. St Kilda, Z. Jones, 1 vote. St Kilda, J. Sinclair, 2 votes. St Kilda, N. Wanganeen Malira, 3 votes. The Scoops Medal leaderboard after round 20 with 4 rounds to go. In 4th place on 18 votes is Zach Butters. In equal 3rd place on 19 votes each, Nick Dacos, Noah Anderson, and Caleb Sarong. In 2nd place, off the top on 20 votes, Tom Green. And for the first time this evening, just in front of Tom Green by 1 vote on 21 votes. The new leader for right now on 21 votes, Brodie Grundy. Now, out of nowhere for Brodie Grundy. There's 4 rounds to go. Will Brodie remain on top? We do know that Brodie Grundy had a late surge in the back half of the season, and his votes has replicated that. But will he remain on top? You're going to find out right here, right now, because that's the leaderboard after round 20. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 names in the top part of the ladder, or leaderboard, sorry. But I tell you, expect the unexpected. There is plenty of names that are still eligible in contention. There is around 15 players still eligible to win. So, will Finn Callahan, who's polled a lot, you don't see N. Dacos anywhere. You don't see Zach Butters anywhere. Or you do, but not at the top. So, where's Rosie? He's polled a lot of votes. Andrew Brayshaw's polled so many. Where's Jack Sinclair? Where's Malira? Where is Tristan Cherry? He polled so much in the start to middle end of the season, or middle part of the season. You just have to keep on waiting. With 4 rounds to go. Round 21, let's go. Round 21, Western Bulldogs v Hawthorn. Western Bulldogs, S. Darcy, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, T. English, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, A. Norton, 3 votes. Adelaide v Hawthorn. Adelaide, I. Rankin, 1 vote. Adelaide, J. Dawson, 2 votes. Adelaide, R. Thilthorpe, 3 votes. Melbourne v West Coast. West Coast, T. McCarthy, 1 vote. Melbourne, M. Gawn, 2 votes. West Coast, R. Marrick, 3 votes. Gold Coast v Richmond. Gold Coast, M. Andrew, 1 vote. Gold Coast, B. Fiorini, 2 votes. Gold Coast, N. Anderson, 3 votes. Sydney v Essendon. Sydney, J. McInerney, 1 vote. Sydney, E. Goulden, 2 votes. Sydney, B. Grundy, 3 votes. Collingwood v Brisbane. Brisbane, W. Ashcroft, 1 vote. Brisbane, Al Neal, 2 votes. Brisbane, Al Morris, 3 votes. St Kilda v North Melbourne. North Melbourne, H. Sheasel, 1 vote. St Kilda, R. Marshall, 2 votes. St Kilda, N. Wanganeen Malira, 3 votes. Geelong v Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide, O. Wines, 1 vote. Geelong, G. Myers, 2 votes. Geelong, M. Holmes, 3 votes. Fremantle v Carlton. Carlton, N. Haynes, 1 vote. Carlton, P. Cripps, 2 votes. Carlton, G. Hewitt, 3 votes. The Scoops Medal leaderboard after round 21 with 3 rounds to go. GWS in 3rd place, Tom Green on 20 votes. In 2nd place on 22 votes, Noah Anderson. And outright first still on 24 votes with 3 rounds to go is Brodie Grundy. So Tom Green is 4 votes behind Brodie Grundy in 3rd place. Now I can exclusively reveal to you the numbers. 3 rounds to go, which then means if you're not on 15 votes at best, right now, you are out of the Scoops Medal. So unless you're on 15 or above, you are out. So the names are starting to narrow down. There is still at least another 8 or so that are in contention with the 3 on the screen, Grundy, Anderson, and Green. So you're going to have to wait and find out where this vote count is going, because trust me, even I don't know where this vote count is going. Right, so there's a leaderboard after round 21 with 3 rounds to go. So let's get into round 22 and not waste any more time. Round 22, Hawthorn v Collingwood. Hawthorn, J Battle, 1 vote. Hawthorn, J Newcomb, 2 votes. Hawthorn, Al Meek, 3 votes. Geelong v Essendon. Essendon, A Roberts, 1 vote. Essendon, Z Merritt, 2 votes. Essendon, Al McMahon, 3 votes. Richmond v St Kilda. St Kilda, C Wilkie, 1 vote. St Kilda, R Marshall, 2 votes. St Kilda, J Sinclair, 3 votes. Brisbane v Sydney. Brisbane, D Wilmot, 1 vote. Brisbane, W Ashcroft, 2 votes. Sydney, I Heaney, 3 votes. Carlton v Gold Coast. Gold Coast, M Rao, 1 vote. Carlton, F Evans, 2 votes. Gold Coast, P King, 3 votes. Port Adelaide v Fremantle. Port Adelaide, O Wines, 1 vote. Fremantle, C Sarong, 2 votes. Port Adelaide, A Aaliyah, 3 votes. GWS v North Melbourne. GWS, C Brown, 1 vote. North Melbourne, Al Parker, 2 votes. GWS, Toby Green, 3 votes. Melbourne v Western Bulldogs. Melbourne, M Gawn, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, E Richards, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, A Norton, 3 votes. West Coast v Adelaide. Adelaide, J Dawson, 1 vote. Adelaide, I Rankin, 2 votes. West Coast, T Kelly, 3 votes. We have 2 rounds to go in the Scoops Medal. The Scoops Medal leaderboard after round 22 is as follows. In 6th place on 18 votes is Zach Butters. In equal 5th place on 19 votes is Nick Dacos, and Will Ashcroft is back in the leaderboard for the first time in a while. In 4th place on 20 votes is Tom Green. In 3rd place on 21 votes is Caleb Sarong. In 2nd place on 22 votes is Noah Anderson. And in 1st place on 24 votes still is Brodie Grundy. Now, you're probably wondering, why did you read so many names, Scoops? Because it's as simple as this. From Zach Butters onwards, only these people on your screen right now will be crowned. One of these people will be crowned the Scoops Medal winner. I will also say this. 2 rounds to go. 2 games for most teams, except for Gold Coast and Essendon. Round 23 is starting right here, right now. We're going to start eliminating some names, ladies and gentlemen. If Brodie Grundy, Noah Anderson, or Caleb Sarong poll any votes, Tom Green, Nick Dacos, or Will Ashcroft, Zach Butters will be out. And you get the gist of it. So, let's not waste any time. Round 23, let's go. Round 23, Essendon v St Kilda. Essendon, M. Redman, 1 vote. St Kilda, C. Sharman, 2 votes. St Kilda, J. Steele, 3 votes. Fremantle v Brisbane. Brisbane, H. McCluggage, 1 vote. Brisbane, J. Fletcher, 2 votes. Brisbane, Zach Bailey, 3 votes. Gold Coast v GWS. GWS, H. Ralston, 1 vote. GWS, Tom Green, 2 votes. Gold Coast, T. Miller, 3 votes. Carlton v Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide, Z. Butters, 1 vote. Carlton, G. Hewitt, 2 votes. Carlton, H. Mackay, 3 votes. Hawthorn v Melbourne. Hawthorn, C. McDonald, 1 vote. Hawthorn, D. Moore, 2 votes. Hawthorn, J. Gunston, 3 votes. Adelaide v Collingwood. Collingwood, J. Crisp, 1 vote. Collingwood, N. Dacos, 2 votes. Collingwood, D. Cameron, 3 votes. North Melbourne v Richmond. North Melbourne, P. Curtis, 1 vote. North Melbourne, Al Davies-Uniacke, 2 votes. North Melbourne, H. Sheasel, 3 votes. Sydney v Geelong. Geelong, S. Manor, 1 vote. Geelong, B. Smith, 2 votes. Sydney, P. Laddams, 3 votes. Western Bulldogs v West Coast. Western Bulldogs, B. Dale, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, T. English, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, M. Bontempelli, 3 votes. The leaderboard after round 23. Zach Butters and Riverdurci, you're out. Will Ashcroft is out. A few names have been eliminated. They can still contend for the top 3, top 5, but they cannot win it. We are down to the last round, ladies and gentlemen, and these are the only names eligible to win the 2025 Scoops Medal with 1 round to go. In equal 3rd place, both on 21 votes, it's Nick Dacos and Caleb Sarong. In 2nd place, equal 2nd place on 22 votes, Tom Green and Noah Anderson. And outright first currently, with 1 round to go, on 24 votes, Brodie Grundy. We have 1 round to go. Brodie Grundy's in the lead. Noah Anderson and Tom Green, Dacos and Sarong are just behind those gentlemen, trying to be a first-time Scoops Medal winner. Or is Tom Green going to become a 2-time Scoops Medal winner? Now, there's the leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? That is the leaderboard with 1 round to go. For Nick Dacos and Caleb Sarong to win, neither of those gentlemen can be outright first. So they would need Brodie Grundy to not poll a single vote. They would both have to poll 3. Tom Green can't get more than 2. And same with Noah Anderson. Remember this. Brodie Grundy just missed the round just gone against Geelong. And he didn't poll a vote, obviously, because he didn't play. Keep this in mind that Noah Anderson also has 2 games up his sleeve, as does Zach Merritt with Essendon. So expect the unexpected. Now, in the last round, like I did last year, we are going to have a live leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you hear me correctly. A live live leaderboard. So let's get into the last round of the Scoops Medal. Who is going to win? Is it going to be Nick Dacos, Caleb Sarong, Tom Green, Brodie Grundy, or Noah Anderson? Comment down below. Is Tom Green going to be the first ever AFL player to be a two-time Scoops Medal winner, or one of those other names etch their name in history and for the first time ever be a Scoops Medal winner? Let's go. Round 24. Essendon v Carlton. Carlton J. Wiedering, 1 vote. Carlton F. Evans, 2 votes. Carlton G. Hewitt, 3 votes. Collingwood v Melbourne. Melbourne. C. Oliver, 1 vote. Melbourne. H. Langford, 2 votes. Melbourne. M. Gawn, 3 votes. That's goodbye to Nick Dacos. He is out of here. North Melbourne v Adelaide. North Melbourne, J. Simpkin, 1 vote. North Melbourne, H. Sheasel, 2 votes. North Melbourne, T. Cherry, 3 votes. Richmond v Geelong. Geelong, T. Atkins, 1 vote. Geelong, B. Smith, 2 votes. Geelong, J. Cameron, 3 votes. Port Adelaide v Gold Coast. Port Adelaide, C. Rosie, 1 vote. Port Adelaide, M. Georgiades, 2 votes. Port Adelaide, Z. Butters, 3 votes. Wow. So we've got a few games to go, and this is the live leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen. Zach Butters has gotten into equal second place. We still have 3, 4, 5 games to go through, and that is the current live leaderboard. West Coast v Sydney. Sydney, I. Heaney, 1 vote. Sydney, T. Papley, 2 votes. Sydney, E. Gordon, 3 votes. Ooh. Brisbane v Hawthorn. Brisbane, J. Dunkley, 1 vote. Brisbane, W. Ashcroft, 2 votes. Brisbane, H. McCluggage, 3 votes. You now add Will Ashcroft into the top part of the leaderboard. Wow. Will Ashcroft cannot win it, but he's going to be in the top bracket of names. What an elite season from Will Ashcroft. GWS v St Kilda. St Kilda, R. Marshall, 1 vote. St Kilda, J. Sinclair, 2 votes. St Kilda, D. Wilson, 3 votes. You can now say goodbye to Tom Green being a 2-time Scoops Medal winner. Western Bulldogs v Fremantle. Fremantle, C. Sarong, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, T. English, 2 votes. Western Bulldogs, M. Bontempelli, 3 votes. That now also means that Caleb Sarong is out of here. What an amazing season from Caleb Sarong. Just falls oh so short. A consistent performer, ultra reliable, but he is out. So if you look at the leaderboard now, we have 1 game to go. 1 game to go. And it's Gold Coast and Essendon. This is the extra game that was added from opening round because of the cyclone, which got put into round 24. So the equation, ladies and gentlemen, is clear as day. Zach Butters, Tom Green, Caleb Sarong, Nick Dacos, and Will Ashcroft are out. But we have a surprise I have not done. Because you've forgotten something, ladies and gentlemen. I want to see if any of you picked it up. I have had a name hidden off the screen. I've had a name hidden off the screen since the end of round 23. I wonder if any of you picked up on that. There is the updated leaderboard. So it's plain and simple, ladies and gentlemen. 1 round to go. We have Nick Dacos, Will Ashcroft out. Caleb Sarong out. Tom Green out. Zach Butters out. Brodie Grundy's matchup has just happened. He will remain on 24 votes. We've got 1 game to go, as I said, Gold Coast in Essendon, which means it's down to Brodie Grundy or Noah Anderson. Comment down below who will be the first ever, or who in their name will be the first ever Scoops medal winner. Will it be Brodie Grundy or will it be Noah Anderson? Let's go. Brodie Grundy to win. We need Noah Anderson to get 1 vote or less. 2 would tie. If Noah Anderson is to poll 3 votes, we had a best on ground level performance game. Will he get the 3 votes? If Noah Anderson polls 1 vote or none, Brodie Grundy wins. If Noah Anderson polls 2, it's a draw. If Noah Anderson polls 3 votes, he wins the Scoops medal. Gold Coast v Essendon. Gold Coast. M. Rowell, 1 vote. Gold Coast. Anderson, 2 votes. Gold Coast B. King, 3 votes. I declare the joint winners of the Scoops medal for season 2025, both on 24 votes, Brodie Grundy and Noah Anderson. Wow. Joint winners of the Scoops medal for the first ever time. Your 2025 Scoops AFL medal winners, both on 24 votes. Noah Anderson from the Gold Coast Suns and Brodie Grundy from the Sydney Swans. Wow. The first ever draw in the Scoops AFL medal. Unbelievable. Congratulations to Brodie Grundy on an amazing season and Noah Anderson. Noah Anderson, the ultra consistent performer, just big numbers, contested possessions, a lot of clearances, a lot of score involvements, just an ultra professional. Has Matty Rowell and Tuke Miller in his side, but Noah Anderson just shines no matter what team and what midfielders he has in the midfield. Brodie Grundy, slow start, amazing back half of the year, amazing middle part of the season. The first 6 to 8 weeks was quiet-ish, hence reflecting on why he polled basically nothing in the first 8 weeks. And to equal win the Scoops medal after effectively not polling much, if at all, in the first 8 rounds is just simply astonishing and show how damn good Brodie Grundy was. And that is exactly why both gentlemen were in my All-Australian team, and that is exactly why Brodie Grundy was my starting ruck. There you go. Brodie Grundy and Noah Anderson, another 2025 Scoops medal winners. Absolutely deserved. Now, you're probably wondering, Scoops, what is your final five? Well, in 5th place on 16 votes, I said expect the unexpected for a reason, because not only the winners are a joint winner, the unexpected winners, and, well, an unexpected top 5 as well. And amount of names. It ain't just 5 names, ladies and gentlemen. Not at all. In 5th place on 16 votes, Matt Rowell. In 4th place on 18 votes, Jack Sinclair. And in equal 3rd place on 21 votes, it's Will Ashcroft and Nick Dacos. And in equal 2nd place on 22 votes, Tom Green, Caleb Sarong, and Zach Butters. And obviously the winners of the 2025 Scoops medal on 24 votes, Brodie Grundy and Noah Anderson. Yes. We have a tie in 1st place. We have a tie in 2nd place. We have a tie in 3rd place. And in 4th place, Jack Sinclair. And in 5th place, Matt Rowell. I told you all, expect the unexpected. I don't clickbait you all. I don't do this for views. I don't clickbait. I say what I say. And I told you all, expect the unexpected. Boy, oh boy, wowee. What a vote count. What an amazing vote count this was, ladies and gentlemen. And let's just say, we're not even close to being done, because unlike other people, I put a lot of effort into my medal. So I will be having for you all to see on your screen your club by club leaderboard. Yes, because I care about my fans. I'll show you all right. Before I even do that, there is your top 5 graphic right there. Just simply amazing to have those names etched in history in the 2025 Scoops AFL medal. Simply amazing. So you can see on the screen right here, ladies and gentlemen, the Adelaide club-by-club leaderboard. 9 votes for Riley Thilthorpe and Isaac Rankin. 8 votes for Ben Key. 7 for Jordan Dawson. 6 for Mark Keane. 5 for Josh Rochelle. 4 for Riley O'Brien. 3 for Darcy Fogarty and Sam Berry. Dan Curtin, Alex Neil-Bullen, and Jake Saligo. 1 vote to Rory Laird and Max Michelani. The other names for Brisbane to go through. Shall we? Right here. On 21 votes, Will Ashcroft. What an amazing season Will Ashcroft had. 13 votes to Lockie Neal. Had he not been injured, we never know what would have happened. 11 votes to Zach Bailey and Hugh McCluggage. 7 votes to Dane Zorko. 5 to Logan Morris. 5 to Logan Morris. 7 to Dane Zorko. 3 to Eric Hipwood, Levi Ashcroft, Darcy Gardner, Callum Archie, Jasper Fletcher, and Josh Dunkley. I believe, actually, that Josh Dunkley one should say 5 as well, not 3. And Darcy Wilmot had 1. For Carlton, George Hewitt had 14. Tom de Koning had 12. Harry Mackay had 9. 5 to Paddy Cripps. 3 to Walsh, Chera, Haynes, Evans. 2 to Jackson Binns. 1 to Brody Kemp, Adam Sard, Motlop, Akers, Charlie Curnow, and Jacob Wiedering. For Collingwood, Nick Dacos, 21. Josh Dacos, 12. Jamie Elliott, 11. Ned Long, Darcy Cameron, both 6. Scott Penderbury, 4. Tim Embry, 3. Still Sidebottom, 3. Pat Lipinski and Jack Crisp, 3. Dan McStay and Jeremy Howard, 2. And 1 to Dan Houston. For Essendon, 15 votes for Zach Merritt, 10 for Nick Martin, 4 for Zach Reid and Archie Roberts, 3 for Jai Caldwell, Jai Menzies, Peter Wright and Liam McMahon, 2 to Will Setterfield, 1 to Xavier Dersman, Andrew McGrath, and Mason Redman. And for the Dockers, 22 votes, if you don't mind, for Caleb Sarong. Sarong, he had an amazing season. He had 22. Andrew Brayshaw had 13. O'Driscoll had 4 with Jordan Clark. O'Meara, Josh Tracy, Murphy Reid had 3. Shai Bolton had 2. Luke Jackson had 2. As did Hayden Young, and 1 to Luke Ryan and Patrick Voss. Fremantle on our side, they had a lot of players, get rewarded here. They're a side that had highly ranked players get votes and everything like that. And to be honest, I think it was warranted that they, had their selections how they had them. Now for Geelong, 15 to Jeremy Cameron, 14 to Bailey Smith, 13 to Max Soames, 4 to Sean Manor, 3 to Brian Myers, 2 to Ollie Dempsey and Tom Stewart, 1 to Tom Atkins, and 14 for Bailey Smith, as I mentioned again. For Hawthorn, what a graphic this is. 15 to Jack Gunston, 12 to Carl Amon and Dylan Moore. Carl Amon may be a surprise for some. 8 to Josh Battle, 7 to Lloyd Meek, 5 to Jarman Impey and Jai Newcomb, 4 to Massimo D'Ambrosio, 3 to Sicily, 2 to Will Day, Jack Inovan and Connor McDonald, 1 to Cam McKenzie, Chengwith Giath and Marbiel Chol. For Gold Coast, obviously the winner, or joint winner, Noah Anderson on 24, Matt Rowell 16, Ben King 13, Baden Fiorini 5, with Tuke Miller, 2 to Jared Whitson, Bailey Humphrey and John Noble, 1 to Joel Jeffrey and Mac Andrew. For the Giants, 22 to last year's Scoops medal winner, Tom Green, 14 to Finn Callahan, who polled amazing, 12 to Toby Green, 9 to Lockie Whitfield, 6 to Cadman, 5 to Hogan, 4 to Stringer, 2 to Sam Taylor, Himmelberg, Ward and Ash, 1 to Josh Kelly, Connor Iden, Jack Buckley, Xavier O'Halloran and Callum Brown. Obviously, they're a side that polled so well as well. For Melbourne, Max Scorn had 13, Cosy Pickett 9, Jake Melsham 6, Bailey Fritsch 5, Kate Chandler 5, along with Petrarca and Langford, Daniel Turner 3, Salem and Oliver 2, and Bowie 1 with Stephen May. I mean, Melbourne had, Max Scorn was up there, as I said, and all those names. But at the end of the day, they didn't have a great season, Melbourne. So, it's a bit expected, to be honest. I know Max Scorn was a standout for them and Pickett at times, but, doesn't help you getting votes when your team gets beaten. Not that that matters too much, but obviously it plays, some part in it, but it is what it is. So for North Melbourne, we had Tristan Cherry on 14, Luke Parker and she's on 11, Jai Simpkin on 7, Caleb Sarong on 6, Luke Davies-Uniacke on 6, Paul Curtis 4, Tom Powell 3, along with McKercher. Riley Hardiman, a surprise there, on 1 vote. For the Power, Zach Butters 22, Mitch Georgiades 11, Connor Rosie 8, Alir 3, along with Ollie Wines, 2 to Christian Moraes, a surprise, and Jason Hall-Francis, 1 to Jace Burgon and Jordan Sweet. For Richmond, Tim Taranto won their votes on 9, Nick Vlosten 5, along with Jacob Hopper, Jack Ross, Sam Bakes and Dion Prestia 3, Ben Miller and Noah Bolt are both surprises there on 1. For my Saints, the most talked about one, the most votes on 18 votes for Jack Sinclair, 13 for both Nasiah, Wanganeen Malira, which might be a surprise for some, and Rowan Marshall. Jack McRae had 12 in a stellar start. Jack Steele had 8 votes as skipper. Max Hall had a good year, along with Callum Wilkie, both on 7. Marcus Winhager had a great year on 6. Cooper Sharman had some good games and on 4. Darcy Wilson, 3 in the last game, and 1 vote each to Jack Higgins, Dan Buller, the Flying Viking, Alex Haroon, Zach Jones, who had some really important games throughout the year. For the Swans, the joint winner, Brodie Grundy on 24 votes. 15 to Isaac Heaney, 8 to Chad Warner and Errol Goulden, 3 to Nick Blakey and Peter Laddams, 2 to Matt Roberts, Justin McInerney, Tom Papley, 1 to James Jordan, Aaron Francis and Callum Mills. So I said Nick Blakey and Peter Laddams both had 3, 8 to Chad Warner and Errol Goulden. For West Coast, we have Liam Baker with the most votes on 9. I think that's the lowest for any team with the most votes. That's the Eagles on 9. I think Richmond actually had Taranto had 9 as well. Yeah, he did. Liam Baker had 9, Tim Kelly 5, along with Ryan Marrick and Tom McCarthy getting 3. Jeremy McGovern, the retiring grade, on 2, along with Jack Graham and Harley Reid. Tywell Jewell, 1 vote, along with Elijah Hewitt. And for the Bulldogs, 13 each. The only team to have a joint winner with the most votes, Marcus Bontempelli, along with Bailey Dale on 13 votes. 12 to Aaron Norton, 11 to Tim English, 8 to all of Matt Kennedy, Tom Liberatore, and Ed Richards. 5 to Sam Darcy, 4 to Bailey Williams, 3 each to Riley Sanders, James Harms, and Riley West, and 2 votes to Sam Davidson. Congratulations again to the 2025 Scoops medal winners, the joint winners, Brodie Grundy and Noah Anderson. Thank you all for watching this year's installment of the Scoops AFL Medal for season 2025. What an amazing vote count. The most excited video for everyone to watch all year. Stay tuned to the AFLW one coming up in a few months' time or so, or a bit after that. The Scoops medal, the best fan-voted medal there is. And I know that because you all talk about my awards so much and you always debate it each and every week. Thank you all so much for watching. Share this video around. Get your mates on board. If they didn't watch it tonight live, give it to them to watch. It's a video you don't want to miss. Thank you all. And congratulations again to Noah Anderson and Brodie Grundy, the 2025 joint Scoops medal winners, Brodie Grundy and Noah Anderson. Thank you all. And well done to Noah Anderson in particular and Brodie Grundy.